Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Cece.
And in studio with us, we have Leslie and Sienna. And girls, if somebody needed to contact us, what would they need to do?
For math homework help, call
in Bakersfield 636-4357.
Everywhere else 866-636-6284.
Email dothemath@kern.org.
We're online at dothemathonline.net.
And on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, nicely done. So you girls passed your test. That's the only thing you actually had to do today.
Oh, okay.
Seem easy? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you're going to do a little bit of math today too, right? Okay. So, Leslie, where do you attend school and what grade are you in?
I currently attend South High School and I'm a senior and I am taking calculus this year.
Oh, good. So, how's senior year going right now?
It's a bit of a struggle, but I'm enjoying it so far.
So what's the biggest struggle right now?
I think my biggest struggle is balancing my schoolwork and my life.
So other activities you have going on, right?
Like
because
clubs.
You're a senior, you're doing other things
Yeah.
besides school all the time,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And Sienna, you're in what grade?
6th grade,
At what school?
Leo B. Hart Elementary,
And you're a Hawk, correct? Hart Hawks. Have you been there for a long time?
since kindergarten.
Since kindergarten. So next year is going to be a big move for you because you've been at Hart for 6-7 years and you're going to be going to junior high next year. Mm-hmm. What is one thing you think you'll miss biggest about being at Hart?
Probably having one class.
Oh, that's right, because you're in one classroom the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be going to different periods with different instructors and things like that. So was that a big transition for you?
I definitely think it was a big transition having to walk across campus to get to a different class and making sure you're not late.
So any advice for Sienna as she gets ready for this next year?
I think you'll do great as long as you get to your classes on time.
Oh, okay.
There
Maybe
you
see
go.
the campus before going there so you know where your classes
So
are.
get your running shoes out in case you need to, right? All right. Well, girls, we certainly do appreciate you both being here this afternoon. We're going to have some problems that you work on separately and then some problems where you're going to work together so we can see how a 6th grader and a senior can work together to solve a common problem. Sound good?
Okay.
All right. Before we do any of that, this is a little reminder that we do have autumn nights coming up happening out at COM. And if you happen to call in today, tomorrow, or next week between the hours of 3:30 and 5:30, you will win yourself a pass to go to Autumn Nights at COM. So this is something that is brand new this year. This is the first year this is happening, and it's similar to Holiday Lights at COM, where you used to walk through COM and see the lights and all of the activities going on. Holiday Lights at COM now is something that you drive through, but the people at COM wanted folks to get more back into seeing the animals and the different exhibits at the museum. So this is a way to help bring you guys back into COM and have an experience to see Autumn Nights. All right? Have either of you been to COM before?
I have
You
a
have?
lot of times.
Okay, well, you know what? Tomorrow, because you girls now know about Do the Math, right? If you call in tomorrow and we do a math problem for you, you will win yourself a ticket to go see Autumn Nights. And you can treat your family, and they'll be very happy that you did that, all right? Or even next week. Sound good?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right. Before we get to any of that, let's first take a look at today's Math in the News. All right, so today's Math in the News has to deal with sports. Do either of you girls know anything that is going on in the world of sports, any sport at all?
No.
No.
That's pretty quick, no and no. So do either of you like sports?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what sport do you like, Sienna?
Tennis.
All right, do you play tennis?
Yeah.
Okay, and the US Open just ended pretty recently, right? The one
Yeah.
they play in New York, the big Open. All right, so I think tennis season that kind of puts a final note on tennis for the year. Now, what about you, Leslie?
I like watching volleyball.
You like watching volleyball, all right? And this is prime volleyball season right now, right? Do you play volleyball?
No.
Okay, but you like it.
Yeah.
And do you follow a certain team? I mean, they're kind of hard because there's not many pro teams, but any college or anything like that, or?
Not directly follow them, but
Okay.
if I see them on my page, I'll
All right.
watch
Well,
the
you know
games.
what? I do believe you girls each have a pass to a CSB sporting event, and volleyball is going on right now, and they're good for any sport that you want to go to. So maybe you'll have an opportunity to go check out a sport. You like that idea, huh?
Yeah.
Not too bad. All right. Well, Major League Baseball, there's a big thing going on because one of the New York Yankees is about to break the home run record for the American League. He only needs one more home run. He's already tied it, but there are only 2 games left, one tonight and one tomorrow, and he's hoping that he can get that number 62 because the record is 61. But also right now, do any of you girls know any college football teams? No? All right, well, here, we're going to give you 10 of them right now, okay? So let's take a look at the camera right now. So we can see that these are some of the more successful college teams at this point of the season. And we can see that Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and Clemson are the top 5. And then Southern California, USC, they're number 6.
Trojans.
So you girls, so you are familiar with the
Yeah.
Trojans, right? Okay, so they're at number 6. The reason I brought this in is because there are a lot of people, they go, well, how do they get those points and how do they calculate those points? So voting goes out to different people every week. And if you think that a team deserves to be in first place, then they would get 25 points. And second place would get 24 points, and it would keep on going all the way down until the 25th place team got 1 point. You follow how that goes? So if enough people decide that a certain team deserves to be in first place, they'll obviously end up with more votes. And we can see that this is pretty close between first and second place, right? There's only 23 votes that is a difference between first and second place. So we can see that both of the teams are 5-0, and they're all undefeated at this point. This is the number of points they have. This is the number of first place points they have. This is where they were last week. This is how they moved, either in a positive or negative direction from last week. So this means Georgia was in first place and they went down 1. Does that make sense? Why there's a -1 there? This tells the highest and lowest they have been at some point during the year. So if you wanted to see how somebody's been doing throughout the year, you can take a look at number 10, Penn State. All the way at the right, it says number 10. That's the highest they've ever been. Do you have any idea what NR would mean?
No.
Not recorded.
Not recorded, not ranked, right? So if they went from being not ranked to all of a sudden number 10, that's a pretty big jump right there. But I just figured we'd bring that in so that some people could get a little bit of an idea on how the placement takes place and how those polls work. And one of those polls works where you get 25 points, 24, 23, and it just goes like that. Take a cumulative total, and that's how you get your rankings. Sound good? Easy enough. That is today's Math in the News. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Leslie is a senior at South High School, and I just learned last week that they are Spartans now.
Yes. Those
All right.
Spartans.
And is this I don't remember if he told me, is this the first year they've been Spartans?
No.
How long?
For the past 2 years.
So for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So you started as a rebel, but you're going to graduate a Spartan.
Yeah.
All right. And Sienna is a 6th grade student from Hart Elementary, has been there since kindergarten, looking forward, kind of, to switching classes next year, right? That's going to be one of the things you need to get used to. Well, I did say that we had problems that are emailed to us every once in a while. So, Leslie, I'm going to have you work with Cece right now, and this is a problem that came to us on email. Okay? So, if you two girls would like to head on over to the board,
Have you over here?
Sienna, you and I can watch over here,
And you
okay?
just grab a pen and get right to it. So there's our equation. We've got our variables have been defined. T is temperature, W wind chill in Fahrenheit. The wind speeds is staying constant at 40 miles per hour. And the first question I think we have on this is, what is the wind chill when the temperature is 32 degrees? So when the temperature is 32, what is our wind chill? How would we get started on that?
So I believe we would substitute T with 30 because that's the temperature.
Okay.
So
Yeah, 32, good.
W equals -29. And then we would plug in 30.
32, sorry about
32.
that. That's okay. Yeah.
Zeros.
Nice. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so from there we're going to do what first?
Based on order of operations, you would do the parentheses first.
Lovely. Would you like me to
So-
do that for you?
Yeah, please.
Okay. We'll just do 32 times 1.4. We get 42.
42. And you would bring everything back down, keep it nice and
Oh,
organized.
nope, nope,
Oh,
nope.
oh, oh, nope,
I didn't
nope.
clear my calculator first.
Oh, wait.
I
Sorry,
didn't
sorry.
think that sounded right.
Yeah.
So I did it again and it's 44.8. Always check.
And another thing you brought up, that's a good point, because you want to think reasonably. You know it's going to be 32 and about half of 32,
Yep.
right? Which is about 16, but a little less.
For me, the trick was the 4 and the 2 at the end. When it came out to an even
A
number,
whole
I was
number,
like,
right.
that's not quite right.
And
So yeah.
sometimes the calculator can be programmed to round.
Yes.
So,
So anyway, there we are. Yep,
Okay.
think critically is always key. Our tools are just tools. And don't forget your negative.
Oh, whoa. You're right.
Nicely done. Okay, and continue.
And then you would combine them
Okay.
again in the.
So if I'm doing that and I'm staring at my calculator, because we've got a calculator, as long as we're going to talk about calculator and kind of, what we do with it, we might as well just kind of talk about that. If I say, well, I don't know how to put in -29, is there another way I could do this so that I'm not doing -29 plus 44.8?
44.8 minus 29.
Okay, good. Could you rewrite that for me so that we can see why that works? Could you explain why that works? Why can't I just reorder them like that?
Since when you use PEMDAS, it doesn't really matter if addition or subtraction is first or not. I think you can just reorganize it the way you see it a bit more logically.
And part of it is that addition is commutative, right? So we have two things being added. So we know that by the commutative property that we can actually switch locations so that we have our positive 44.8 plus -29. That's a good way to do it. And then we can just go ahead and subtract, which gives us 15.8. Okay, nicely done. All right, so that gives us the wind. Oh, go ahead and actually, you tell me what this means.
So basically, this means that if you're at 32, your temperature is 32, your wind chill will be 15.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, so it's going to feel like it's 15.8 degrees as opposed to the 32. Very nice. All
of a
right.
40-mile-an-hour wind.
With a
It's
40,
good.
yeah,
with a 40
it's blowing pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty quick wind.
All right, let's take a look at part B.
Okay.
So we need to find the temp when the wind chill is -8 degrees.
Okay, so maybe do you want to do like the big circle around and tap in the middle with the eraser part?
Oh,
Yeah, so eraser all the way around and then tap in the middle.
oh,
There you
that's
go.
so cool.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So wind chill is -8 degrees.
Okay, so that would mean that instead of plugging in for T, we're going to plug in for W. now.
Wonderful.
So it's -8.
Yep, and we're trying to find the temperature.
Okay. So what I would do is I would add 29 to this side.
Absolutely. That sounds lovely. So as long as we do the same thing to each
Both
side,
sides.
perfect. We
They
know that that
should
balances out.
That's 37.
And we've got a -8
Oh, yeah,
plus
you're
the
right.
29.
Okay, so that would be 21.
But nice, 21.
21.
Positive or negative?
Positive,
Nice.
since there's more
Okay, wonderful.
positives. And, you would bring
The
This
negative
would
29,
cancel.
okay, good.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
gives
yeah.
us 0.
this would just not exist no more. And give.
Okay, and then what are we going to do from there?
From here, you would want to get the t by itself, so you would divide out the 1.4
Okay,
on both sides.
okay. And that's going to give us 15 on the one side.
15 on this side.
Yep.
15 equals t.
Okay, all right. There we go.
This-
So explain what that means.
Basically means that the temperature when the wind chill is -5 degrees Fahrenheit would be 15 degrees.
Okay, so there we are.
Ready for part C? Yeah. All right. Erase that part. And you can leave it up there if you want, because I don't think you have to actually work anything out anymore. But the real world meaning of the number 1.4, how could you put that in words? What does that mean?
So just the,
The 1.4.
Yeah, the 1.4. What is that?
The temperature? Or,
So T is our temperature.
yeah,
So what kind of equation is this? Do you recognize it as a particular type of equation? Like if I were going to graph it, what does it look like?
a linear equation?
It isn't a linear equation. Okay, so for those of you who do a lot of graphing, it is a linear equation. My 1.4 is what? Part.
Your rate of change? The slope?
My rate of change. Nice. Okay, so what is changing within this equation?
The temperature outside.
Okay, so we know that we've got a temperature change that also then changes.
The wind chill.
Okay, so for every 1 degree change in my temperature, what does that change for my wind chill?
1.4.
Lovely. Yes. Yes, so for every 1 degree change in our temperature, we've got a wind chill change of 1.4. Nice. Okay.
And our final part of the problem. What is the meaning of the -29 in the equation?
I think the -29 is the initial start.
Nice. Okay, so if that's my initial, when we say initial, what does that mean? That means.
The temperature that it's already outside.
Okay, so the temperature would have to be what in order for my wind chill to be 29? Don't overthink it. You're thinking way too hard.
1.4?
No, so we've got, what would T equal if my wind chill was -29? So I've got
Zero?
Yeah, right, yes.
Okay,
So,
okay.
exactly. So when we talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
initial, we're talking
Yeah,
about right that
it's
starting point.
zero,
Or
starting
again,
point.
if we were graphing it, that
Yeah.
would be our y-intercept right there at -29.
There you go. Nicely done, girls.
Okay.
All right, so that helped out, I'm sure, the person that emailed that in,
Lovely.
because we let them know that it was going to be solved on today's program, so all they have to do is go to our YouTube channel, if they weren't able to watch it right now, and check out how that was done. You feel pretty good?
Yep.
That wasn't that difficult, was it?
Good. It was.
There you go. All right, Sienna, you ready? Head on over to the board. Now, Sienna didn't know this, but even though she's younger than you, we're going to give her a math problem that you're working on in class. And what are you doing in class right now? As a senior, what are you doing?
Derivatives?
You're doing derivatives and calculus and stuff, right? Are you ready for one of those?
No.
I was going to say, if you're ready for it, then we'll just let you girls take it away. But we'll let you work on something else right now. You ready?
Yeah.
So in class, you're actually working on using the metric system, correct?
Yeah.
And doing conversions and things like that. So how about if you and Cece just kind of give us a broad overview of the metric system and how it works, and how you can convert one unit of measurement to another. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, girls, take it away.
All right, I'm going to let you go ahead and put your diagram on the board that you showed us
okay.
earlier.
And if you need it, it's right here.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, no, go ahead and you do your thing, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
just kind of talk while you're doing it. The one thing about the metric system that's different than what we use with like inches and feet and all that kind of stuff is what? What's the main difference? that everything's based on tens, right? So we don't have the whole 12 inches to keep going. Sorry, I'm distracting you. You just keep writing and I'll sort of talk. So instead of having the 12 inches as 1 foot, everything's tens, 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 tens. So that's why this is such a nice, easy system. And hopefully you don't run out of room.
Yeah, I think I'll run out of room.
It's okay. Or maybe you can just do an H and a D
And the lovely thing is you always have an eraser. You can make it larger if you need
there
to.
you go. So we've got, if we're talking about grams, as you put that up there, if we talk about grams, we talk about kilograms and hectograms. And what's our next one?
It's decograms.
Okay, and is kilograms bigger than hectograms?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going from the big down to the smaller. All right, sounds good. So kilogram, hectogram, decagram, and then I don't know if there's a way to shift the page. Be able to do that.
Well,
Shift it
the only
over.
thing I can think of is if you were able to grab the 2 top lines and maybe move the whole thing over,
Can you do this?
or you just might be able to move based on how it was drawn.
Oh, just kidding. Nope, we're just gonna leave it as is. Thank
they
you
buzzed
very
you on
much.
that
Okay, just kidding.
That's all right. So
That's a
let's
nice
just
try.
put gram, and then the
Okay.
other part you can put down below.
So maybe start
A little
you
off
wanna
on
start
the
with
side.
gram
Yeah.
and then
Oh.
so you're saying that if I go from hectogram to kilogram, I need to divide by 10.
Yes.
Because that's going to tell us it's less than, even though this is bigger, if I have 10 hectograms, if I divide it, that's going to be 1 kilogram, right? Okay, perfect. So every time we shift over, we're dividing by another 10.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And if I'm going from kilograms to hectograms, I do what?
Multiply.
Okay, all right. We're doing our reverse or our opposite of the division. Okay. So just tell me, after grams, if I start going down, if I go down further, what happens after I have 1 gram? What's next after that?
It's decigrams.
Okay, and then
And then
in
centigrams.
centa, we're really used to hearing that one, and what's the other one we're used to hearing all the time?
Milligrams.
There you go. Yeah, milligrams. Very nice. Okay, so if you have, let's say 100 grams. So,
Okay.
so write yourself down 100 grams. All right, and I want to go to kilograms. So what would I do if I wanted to go to kilograms?
You would have to divide it. Well, you would have to move the decimal 3 times.
Okay, so show us how that's done, and let's see how many kilograms we have.
So then it would be 0.100 kilograms.
Okay, and do we need the zeros at that back end anymore?
No.
Yeah, we don't really. We could just say 0.1, but either way, it's right. And so we'd have 0.1 what?
Kilograms.
Kilograms.
Should I write that?
Yeah, you just do the kg for kilograms. Nice. Okay.
So even though the other end isn't written up there, but you know it's decigram, centigram, milligram. So those 3 prefixes would be the other 3 you have on the opposite end. If I had 3 kilograms, okay, so we're going to start at 3 kilograms, and I wanted milligrams, how many would that be?
You would move it to the right, right?
So we're just gonna, yeah, because you said that if I go this way, you said I have to multiply it by 10. So How many times am I going to go?
3.
So that's going to take me to grams, but he said he wanted
Oh,
milligrams.
milligram.
Yeah, so how far is that after? We've got grams, and we've got, you told me decigrams, centigrams,
6.
milligrams. So that's 3 more past that. So
6. So
and you can erase if you need to. There you go. And you can just go big circle around and tap in the middle. Yep. It's like magic.
so that's 3 times.
So that gets us to grams. Nice. So what is that?
3 million.
3 million milligrams. Nice.
Nicely
Okay.
done. So I'm glad you had an opportunity just to kind of put that graph out there a little bit and have a basic understanding. I appreciate that you had to divide by 10 and multiply by 10 based on what direction you're going with that decimal point. You feeling pretty good?
Yes.
You girls aren't too nervous anymore, are you?
No.
And even Cece, this is your first day back. When was the last time you were here?
Well, I came on and said hi before, but the last time I did math on this show was 18 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, comes back just like riding a bike, huh?
There it is. There it is.
Well, it certainly is a pleasure having you back on the
Thank
program.
you. It's a lot
with
of
us.
fun.
636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30 this afternoon. Girls, if I presented you with an opportunity where I gave you paper and tape and I wanted you to make a tower, how high do you think you could make it using only paper and tape?
Not very high.
Do you think you could make it 5 feet high? About this?
How much?
No?
How much paper are you giving them?
I didn't get into the particulars.
Oh, okay.
yet.
I just asked the
Let's see
question.
here.
I just
How much
figured I'd
tape
ask.
and
Okay,
stuff like
okay,
that.
all right.
Well, you know what? Let's find out right now with some of our friends from Science for Kern.
All right, so we're ready to start our science challenge for this afternoon. Are you ready, students? Yes. All right, so let's get started. Today our challenge involves some very, very simple materials. Each group has a stack of paper and a roll of tape. And this is it. These are the materials we're going to be using. And your mission for this challenge is going to be to build a tower as tall as you can get it. You're going to have a certain amount of time, which I'll tell you that in a second, to build up. And you may also tape the object to the table if you'd like, or not, but it has to stay stationary. After everyone has finished building, we're going to test it to see if it will hold your roll of tape without falling over or without collapsing. And we're going to count for 15 seconds to see if it will hold the roll of tape at the top. So be thinking about that as you plan your structure. Now, in this classroom, we have a great example of a very famous tower. If you pivot that way, everybody swivel your heads that way. Does anyone know? Raise your hand. What do we call that wood structure back there by the window? Can you all say it out loud for me?
The Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower. I'm not going to get into too much about the specifics of the Eiffel Tower structure, but I will say this, that as you build, you may look to the Eiffel Tower for inspiration. I suggest that you spend a couple of minutes talking about a plan. When engineers start out on a project, they typically talk with others about a plan, and then they begin building. Let's see what you can build. Let's see how high our towers can get in 10 minutes. All right, ready, set, go.
We need 3 more. 3 more, okay. Should a cube, and then inside of each cube, roll up a couple pieces of paper and make it like sturdy. Like I say, take a few pieces of paper. I have an idea for the top, and then we can make like a lighthouse. I have an idea for the top. So this may be complicated, but it's like gonna be like kind of like a square, but there's like flappings out, so it can hold the tape. Yeah, kind of like a bag.
Oh, yeah. So we could just tape it like this. But I'm thinking of like right there. So like a big bottom, a small middle, or like here, right here's one.
Oh wait, just cut over here.
Right there. I'll hold it. That's fine.
There's one.
Okay.
We can do it number one.
Wait, no, don't do it around.
Wait, should we put a paper or
Take, I mean, as long as we get started. So like, can I just ask you a question? Yeah. What is the paper?
How you supposed to know what paper tastes like?
Guys, I just want to know so it doesn't taste bad.
So you fold the paper. How are we gonna make the corners? Wait.
Probably like, do you see? Okay. So go like there, right? Make an extra. Wait, no,
How's it going here?
Good. We're still trying to figure out how we can take it out.
Have you done any testing yet to see if what you have so far will hold the roll of tape yet?
No, but we're trying to make it high.
Okay, just working on height still? All right. It appears to be somewhat sturdy. Okay, so tell me about these rolled up pieces of paper. Why did you choose that structure?
We did roll up pieces of paper because I'm pretty sure when the paper and the tape go together, well, they can like hold up together using the strength of the paper, and I'm pretty sure it can hold that tape.
And then if we put one of these, then it wouldn't have held because it was only one and it would have just went through.
All right.
Yeah, kind of like a temple.
Oh, okay. So why are we choosing columns? You can keep building, but you can talk to me about why are you choosing the column shape?
Because it feels, I guess it feels more sturdy that way.
Okay. And what were you going to say about the Eiffel Tower?
The Eiffel Tower has like things on the bottom. They're not exactly like this, but they kind of resemble it.
Okay. And I've noticed you've rolled them up to a certain size. Why did you determine that size?
We want it to be tall, but we also want it to be very sturdy.
Okay.
So we decided to make them wider so they would hold a bigger area.
Okay, terrific. Yeah, let's keep going there. We've got some great ideas here. Is that going to go up or around?
I don't know. More thick so it will be able to hold.
To add some strength to your base? Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Wait, no.
Let's first do a little measuring. You want to do the honors? So let's go this
Backwards.
way. Yeah, I had it backward. How many inches?
It looks about
If you add this,
9 inches, but
if you add that, it's probably
no,
like
wait, scoot it over. Just scoot it over.
Okay, and then if we squish this, we're probably going to go down to closer to 10 inches.
10 inches.
All right, so for the record, this table built a 10-inch tower, and y'all want to count with me? To 15 and see if it will hold our roll of tape? See if it'll pass the test. Are you ready?
Yes.
Ready? Set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yay! Well done. All right, they passed the test. How tall was their tower?
10.
About 10 inches, right? So ladies, your turn. How tall are you?
I don't know.
8, almost 9.
No, about 9. About 9.5. 9.25.
All right. So they've got you on height, but let's see if it will pass the strength test. Everyone ready? Ready, set, 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Well done. 2 successful towers. All right, how tall? All right, ladies and gentlemen, how tall? Oops, let's not bump it. How tall is this tower?
About
9.5.
9.
4.5.
9.5 or so?
Yeah.
All right, so just a smidge shorter than table number 1. Let's see if it passes the strength test. Y'all ready? We're doing great, right? We're 2 for 2. Let's see, I've got to be careful. Ready, set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Way to go. Wow, you know what? I was a little nervous when I put that roll of tape on there because I thought it might not be fair, because did you notice it's not totally centered on there? But it still held up. Does anybody have any thoughts on why the tower still stood with the roll of tape not being centered on top? What do you think made the difference over there? Go ahead.
Because that one column leaning against it kept it from falling over because it was leaning to that same exact side.
Yeah, and certainly, you know, looking at our previous 2 towers, that certainly is the exceptional design piece for this tower, right, compared to the others. So, such creativity and originality. All right, last group. Oh, wow. Check that. Let's see how tall their tower is.
Almost 21 inches.
Wow. There's our tallest tower, right?
Yeah, but
But is that enough? Let's predict. Who thinks it's going to stay standing for 15 seconds? All right. Oh, we've got an optimist in the room. Who thinks it's going down? You ready? Ready? Where do you want me to put it? Centered or off center?
A little more that side.
All right. So maybe okay. Ready? Set. 1. All right. So
We got one.
tallest tower, but it looks like our tallest tower that lasted the longest is our gentleman at table number 1. Well done, everyone. And with our winning table number 1, that concludes our engineering challenge for the afternoon.
And once again, thanks to Michelle and all of the students that helped take part in that tower building. And some of those towers look pretty good, but that last one, Leaning Tower of Pisa, a little more, right there. So anyway, they've got some great challenges. And if you would like to learn more about Science for Kern, just get online, type in Science for Kern, or you can go to kern.org, where Do the Math is, and you can find out all about it. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays between 3:30 and 5:30. If you do phone in, we do one of your math problems today, tomorrow, or even next week, you will win yourself a ticket, a pass to go to Autumn Nights happening out at COM. And that is something brand new. And you could say, hey, Mom, Dad, whatever, I've got you a free pass. We can go out to COM and check out this brand new event that's going on. And they're going to go, you did that for us? What did you have to do for that? All I had to do was a math problem. That's how easy it was. All right, you girls ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to have Cece go to the board and first work on a problem, and you girls are going to do similar ones to this. So Cece, I'd like you to write 4 4s on the board and spread them out.
Okay.
So spread them out with maybe equal space in between them. There you go, beautiful. And what I would like you to do is I would like you to put any operation you want. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, whatever you want in between each of the 4s, and if you want to put parentheses around anything, go ahead and do that.
Awesome.
So go ahead and do it, whatever you'd like.
Oh, okay. Let's do, I'll throw some parentheses in here. Guess I can do that. And then,
Wait, what?
how about that?
Beautiful. So if we wanted to evaluate that now, how would we do that?
All right, so I've got addition, I've got multiplication, I've got division. I know that multiplication and division I need to do together from left to right. So if I'm going from left to right, the first thing I come across is here is my multiplication. So I'm going to leave this alone. I'm not going to do anything with that. I am going to multiply first, which gives me the 16 divided by 4. Now, of course, I am going to do the division portion of it, because as I go left to right, that is the first thing I come across that is in order. So 16 divided by 4 gives me my 4 back, and now I have 4 plus 4, which gives me 8. I should probably throw some equal signs in there somewhere. And I get the answer of 8.
There you go. So girls, how do you think? You like that?
Yeah.
I want one of you, and just say it whenever you think of it. How could somebody have gotten the answer 5? Where along that path do you think somebody could have messed up somehow and come up with the answer 5? Do you see anything that might have happened?
Maybe they didn't multiply first.
Okay, so let's say you want to multiply first, or you want to divide first?
Oh, divide first?
You want to divide first?
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing you could divide is 4 divided by 4. That would give you 1. So then what would you have to do next?
You would have to multiply.
All right, that would be the thing to do, right? And what do you get now?
8.
You're still going to get 8, right? Which is funny because Cece did it where you multiplied first instead of divided first and still got 8. Kind of funny how that worked out right there like that. But do you see how if you use the 4 4s and you put different mathematical symbols in there, you can get an answer of 8, okay? Here's what I'm going to want you two to do, okay? So the 4 4s are going to be up there. And what I'd like you to do is head over to the board. Each of you get a pen because you can both write at the same time.
Oh, that's nice.
Sienna, since you are the younger one,
Oh.
I want you to select a number between 0 and 10, but not 8, because we just did 8. So what number would you like?
5.
Okay, so at the very end, put equals 5. So girls, together, I want you to work on this problem. You can put any symbols you want in there. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, any grouping symbols, parentheses, square root of. This is where Leslie's going to be able to help you out with some of these things, all right? You must use 4 4s, and I want you to figure out a way so that they equal 5 when you're all through with the problem. You girls ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go to it. Discuss it and explain things as you're going along.
Okay.
We first gotta put all the things in, right?
Yes. So we can do maybe guess and check, or we can try to strategize. I don't know.
So guess and check is one thing I heard.
Yeah.
So how would you start that? You have to put symbols in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like plus or minus.
Sure. And we could do multiply.
Times 4. And maybe plus.
Okay. Do you want to put anything in parentheses?
If you put these in parentheses, that would give you 16.
So if you just did it right now,
No,
the
that
way
would
you
be
have
8.
it, what would come first?
The multiplication.
So that would be 16. So you would have 4 minus 16 plus 4.
Yeah.
So 4 minus 16 is,
8.
8. Wait.
well, 4 minus 16 is negative 12.
Negative 12, yeah.
Negative 12 plus 4
It's not 5.
is not 5, right? So that's fine. You can just say it's not 5. So you're going to have to group things or modify the symbols that you've been using so far. And if you get really, really stuck, Cece and I will help you a little bit, but I want to see how the two of you approach this right now.
Okay. Since these didn't work, do you want to change them?
Sure.
All right, don't be shy. You've been on the show all together now, so.
Okay, we got this. Okay. So I don't
You wanna put a division symbol right there?
divide it. And then
A minus?
this would give us 1. And then times 4. 4 minus 4.
So what would that get you if you just left it like that?
So that would be 1, and then you have 4 times 4.
No. This would give you 1. 1 times 4.
And then it would be minus 4.
Yeah.
And then you would do the
That
times
times.
first.
So that's 4 minus 4 would give you 0.
Oh, well that's definitely not 5.
So if you did 1 times 4 minus 4, what would you end up with?
0.
Well, what's 1 times 4?
Oh,
4.
4 minus 4?
0.
So that's a way that you could actually get 0. But we don't want 0.
Yep.
We want 5. So get rid of that. All right, so get rid of your symbols, because obviously those haven't worked. So I'm going to give you a clue.
Oh yeah.
It ends with a 4.
It's
What can you use, what number do you need in front of a 4 to get to 5?
Oh, 1? Wait.
Well, you could if you could get all of them to add up to 1. If you could get the first 3 4s to add up to 1 somehow, and you could add 4 to get to 5. What else could you use in front of a 4 to get to 5?
We would definitely need a division symbol, right?
Right? What would you need to divide? What divided by 4 would give you 5?
Oh, I see where
25?
you're going with this. That was
Or
not
no,
the
20?
direction I was going to go.
Right,
I
but
like
see,
it.
that's the beauty of this, is there's a lot of directions we can go. So you could have the first 3 4s, manipulate them somehow so that you get an answer of 1, and just add the last 4. Or you could do something to the first 3 4s to get a number, and divide 4 to get 5. The key is, what number do you need before that last 4?
You like
So there's 2 different options you could take, so
multiply these.
go ahead and go at it.
That would be
16
16
plus
minus 4 would be 8.
plus.
There you go. Okay, be careful though, because right
Right.
now as you have it, what do you need to do? Order of operations would tell me to do what first?
In the
Well,
parentheses, right?
Right, okay, and then what do I do next?
The
No,
division.
Right, so that's going to divide me down to 1, and I know that it's not that you want to divide. What is it you're wanting to divide?
The 20.
Right, so what grouping symbol can you use to show that you're doing all of those 3 things first, and then you're dividing by 4? What grouping symbol can you use?
Oh wait, but
Because you're fine, you got it, you just need a grouping symbol. So that division happens last.
You put it all over one?
Because right now,
Or
it would say,
parentheses.
Aha, okay, go ahead. Or a bracket, but yes, absolutely. Either way, go ahead.
Around the. Right here?
Yep. Nope,
No.
other way.
This?
There you go.
Close it in. What?
There you go.
That's
There you go. Nice.
so now this is something that Sienna probably hasn't seen in 6th grade, with this double set of parentheses. So Leslie, explain what's going on.
This still goes together because it's part of a parentheses, but then after you're done doing whatever is inside these parentheses, you would do it this before anything else that's outside because it's still together.
Oh, I saw something like that last year, but it was like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right, and brackets
Yeah.
are the same thing,
that, yeah, that means the same thing.
right?
Yeah,
They
I
just
know
look a
what's
little
happening.
different. One are lines and one are a little curved, that's all.
Yep.
So go ahead and write underneath how you evaluate that.
So 4 times 4 would be 16
Mm-hmm. Then it would be plus 4
plus 4. And
would
then
be 20, and then divided by 4 would be 5.
There you go. Nicely done. You worked together, got that problem solved. And I know some of the moms over there were looking like, oh, no, do that one first, do that. They saw what you were doing, and we're kind of doing it along with you right there. So nicely done. Girls, for your great effort right there, you've got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at Chick-fil-A, so congratulations on that. Hopefully you have an opportunity to go see Troy and all of the wonderful staff at Chick-fil-A. We certainly do appreciate them and all of the items that they give you guys for coming in on the show. Oh. We'll be back with more right after this.
Pretend you're actually doing.
Hi, I'm Michelle Summers. I'm a teacher here with the Kern High School District's Regional Occupational Center. I teach the business administration programs. Right now I currently teach 3 programs: administrative office assistant, bookkeeping and accounting, and office technology. The way I started my career here at the Regional Occupational Center, right after high school, I came to ROC and I took the business administration program, just like the same one that my students here are taking right now. And I did really well. While I was going to college, I realized I had to get a job, I had to work. So I decided I wanted to work in an office environment. And after I received my teaching credential, then I applied here in the office lab where I work now. So some of the skills that the students are learning when they first come in class, they're learning to be self-starters, take initiative. In a traditional class, when students come into class, they sit around in class and wait for the teacher to tell them what to do. Here in the classroom, they come straight to class and start practicing keyboarding. I not only teach keyboarding, I teach ergonomics in the workplace. They have to sit up straight, feet flat on the floor. Not look at their hands while they type. So I teach them those important skills. A lot of times when my students come into class, they're hunting and pecking and looking at their fingers while they type. So we break those bad habits. The keyboarding is also articulated with BC, and they're receiving college credits as they're completing their keyboarding class. I also teach the Microsoft Office Suite. They learn Microsoft Word, Excel, Access, and PowerPoint. And I also teach bookkeeping, and we use QuickBooks, and the students learn to use QuickBooks to manage financial information for businesses, along with a lot of other soft skills, and we have a lot of activities for them to practice, like event planning. They have a lot of events planned out and practice those skills also. And depending on which industry they want to work in, then I'll get them a job for an internship second semester. So they'll be out at the job sites Tuesday through Friday and in class on Mondays. So Tuesday through Friday, they're at their job sites. They don't come to class. They go straight to their job sites, and they all have entry-level positions as office assistants. We practice telephone etiquette. In the classroom, it's difficult to teach them that real-life telephone etiquette, answering the telephones. So in the classroom, we watch a series of videos on telephone etiquette. We have skits that we practice in class and some worksheets. But that's when our internships are really valuable for our classroom, because they actually go to a job site. They're answering telephones for businesses, answering telephones, transferring calls, and taking messages, real life calls.
Thank you for calling Acme Furniture. This is Alyssa speaking. How may I help you?
This is John Joseph at Continental Designs. I would like to speak to Mr. Smith.
I'm sorry, he's out of the office at the moment, but will be returning at 1 p.m. May I take a message?
Please tell him that I would like to increase my order from 50 to 100 units. It's not necessary that he return my call, as long as he receives this message. If he has any questions, I can be reached at 611-555-2233.
What I like about this class is that it's a new experience of the office world, and it really introduces the actual in-depth of what goes on behind the office, because I feel like as one perspective we see the outside of what's going on in office, but you never know what's actually going behind the computer screen.
And big thanks to the staff and students at ROC and CTech. They've got a beautiful new building out there by Independence High School. And all of the videos that you have been viewing so far this year and all of last year's was the first year they started doing this. The students at ROC and CTech, produced entirely all of those videos that you're seeing. And they've been great partners to Do the Math for many, many years. And we're just very happy and proud of the work that they're able to do right now as students in high school. 636-4357 is the phone number. We're almost through with our hour. We do have Leslie, a senior from South High, and Sienna, a 6th grade student from Hart. One final problem for you to work on. Are you girls ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Head on over to the board. So we have a piggy bank, and Cece drew a lovely piggy bank up there for you.
I was going to do it in pink,
Right.
and then Oh, I forgot.
Where's the little tail?
tail? Please put the tail
One
on
of you
there.
put a
Somebody
tail on
needs
that.
a tail on
Okay.
there.
A curly one, too.
Yeah, there we go.
I
knew
a
it
little
was
better.
missing something.
So
All
that's
right,
the
there we
head.
go.
Okay. So there's 60 cents
Okay.
in the piggy bank. There's at least 1 nickel, 1 dime, and 1 quarter. The question is, how many quarters are there altogether in the bank if there's at least one of everything in there? So how are you going to figure this out?
So make sure you talk it through. Talk it through, write anything down you need.
So
And I'll give you 90 seconds.
Like 0.25, 10,
And that is representative of?
0.05.
What are we doing here?
That's the worth of the coins.
Okay, so that's how much they're worth. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Just checking.
So, but two of these would make 50. But do we want to go there? Wait.
So if you've got 2 quarters, that's 50. Then what would you do after that?
Well, then the dime, but then we don't use the
That
nickel.
would be too much.
Okay, so then we
Is
need
it-
to do what?
Can we get rid of a dime? Or no?
We gotta have a dime in
We
there.
gotta
The
have a
dime's
dime?
gotta be there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
that
then we would
that's
have
your
to
nice
keep
guess and
this.
check method, right? So check that wrong. Moving on.
Wait, we could add a 5 to the 25 and it would make 30 cents. Should I write that out?
You do what you need to do.
And then we have to use at least one of everything.
Yep, at least
Okay.
one of everything. So what if you started with the quarter? Because you know you gotta have a quarter in there. Go ahead.
That means you would have 0.25.
Okay.
So 0.25.
And then,
And then,
You could add a nickel.
okay, because you know you gotta have 1 nickel in there.
so that would be 0.30.
Okay, so go ahead and give us that, all right?
And then if you
Actually,
added dime,
if we could add 2 more nickels and then it would make 0.40, we can add 2 dimes and then we can have 60.
Okay, so the beauty in the question is really, it's only asking us about the quarters. We're not really concerned with how those nickels and dimes
many
play in there. We just want to know the quarters. Tell me.
so can I put
1?
You say that like a question. Tell me.
There's
How
one
many
quarter.
quarters?
There's
One
one quarter in this
quarter.
case.
There's 1 quarter in there. Because why? Because if there were 2,
That would be, you
That would
wouldn't
be
have
too much.
enough of each.
right, because then we'd have the dime that would put us over with adding in that nickel.
There you go. So
All right.
nicely done. You figured out there was only 1 quarter. Girls, did you learn a little something today?
Yes.
Perfect. And the more important thing is, did you have fun today?
Yes.
All right, wave to everybody bye. Until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, Bakersfield City School District, and Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.